Hunt is his teammate, Wise 9. And next to him is, of course, the king of short tracks, young Joshi. Can he take the win this weekend? Obviously, that will be with our competition, Marcus B behind him, you know, obviously, you know, obviously with Dopre behind Marcus B. There's of course Sky Commons, Shirogane with the number 60. There's of course Fleebo Berry with the number 18, John Johnson with the number 60, Racer with the number 36. There's Sophie Walton with the number 5, Jimmy Wilkie with the number 7. Next to him is Caleb Wheeler with the number 29. Of course, we have Marcus De Jesus with the number 99. We have Carson Green next to him with the number 19. There is the 4 of Squirrel McNutt Jr., very not so impressive qualifying session. Next to him is Leah McQueen of Wood Brothers Racing. Not much you can do with the equipment that Wood Brothers Racing can give, but hopefully she will get good results. There's of course Daniel Voiles, of Roush Fenway Racing. Not a good session for him either. And there is Jay Euler. Not a good session for him as well. There is Melissa Smithy, Naylor Dubb. There is Speedy Jim. Derek, not much he can do with Corlick Racing's equipment. On dead last, we have Sanguini and James Crow. Very disappointing qualifying session for Team Penske and 23XI, as they seem to be dead lost. Obviously, not very good, considering that not very good session for Team Penske. For 23XI, the only good qualifier is of course Horace Yanut. Very unfortunate. We'll wait for the racing session to begin. Obviously, very unfortunate though. Very unfortunate. Obviously, there are the spectators. Now this won't count for points, but whoever wins this will get lots of money. There is of course the OS Copter viewing over each and every driver. Who do you think is going to win the clash? Who do you think is going to win the clash? You heard that Marcus B predicts that he's going to win the clash and take the money home. Obviously, the engines are starting, the pace car is here, so it will be lights off. It will be all green flag as soon as the pace car goes, and we are on go. And obviously, Mick Hunt will make a strong launch with Wise 9 behind him, making it a front row racing 1-2. Obviously, and young Joshi is 4th, as he currently is, with Marcus B trying to take the position away from him. and young Joshi trying to take the position away from Stone. Obviously, it's Mick Hunt at the end of the day, and Mick Hunt looks way too strong. He had a strong weekend, and he had a strong weekend. He had a very strong qualifying session, and you'd hate to see it, Mick Hunt is having a very strong weekend, and by some intervention, hopefully something will happen. The front row racing cars look very strong. I guess that's why they're called front row motorsports and not some other name, because this weekend proves it. Now obviously it's not the season, it's not the beginning of the season, it is just a pre-season. Obviously a lot can change coming into the season, but Mick Hunt looks very strong this weekend, and obviously young Joshi will take the third position, and now he is gunning for the wins behind the two Fords right in front of him. He obviously made the maneuver on Sean Stone, and very crazy stuff. He made the maneuver on Sean Stone, and Sean Stone is clear ahead of Marcus B, but Marcus B will try to take the position from Sean Stone. Obviously Sean Stone has an advantageous gap compared to the others, so hopefully Marcus B will take the position from Sean Stone. And the top 10 looks like this, with Mick Hunt with a very convincing gap compared to his teammate who has the stronger engine. Wise 9 behind, and young Joshi is closing in on the gap that Wise 9 has created. 5th is Marcus B. 6th is Ali Rain. 7th is Thomas Dupre. 8th is Sky Commons. 9th is Hurt Your Nuts. And 10th is, of course, John Johnson, and wow, Sky and Thomas are racing for the 6th and 7th position, are fighting for the 6th position. Very unfortunate. And wow, is that John Johnson who just joins in on the fight, randomly. John Johnson looks very good this season. I'm not going to be surprised if he puts in a contention for the title. John Johnson looks to be maybe one of the strongest amongst the Roush Fenway drivers. He maybe might win the title, maybe might have a good season, maybe might even have a win this season, depending on the circumstances, obviously. And there, John Johnson makes the maneuver on Thomas Dupre, and John Johnson will try to take the 7th position away from Thomas Dupre. And Thomas Dupre, is defending, holding on strong, obviously. And wait, was this young Joshi is taking away the 2nd position, or trying to take away the 2nd position from Wise 9, proving that short tracks are a strength. Wise 9 trying to hold him off, but Wise 9 is failing. Obviously, young Joshi will take the 2nd position away. Can young Joshi pull it off? and it seems like Wise 9 is trying not to let young Joshi take over the position. Mick Hunt has a strong gap compared to the others. And there is Mick Hunt catching up to Seguini, and Seguini is obviously no match for Mick Hunt, as he has to move to make way for the 28. Obviously, the 67 were okay, and the 28 makes the move. Obviously, Seguini's not gonna try to make a fight. He's not going to try fight a fight not worth fighting, and he will catch up to more lap traffic. But this will be an issue for Wise 9 and Young Joshi, as Wise 9 and Young Joshi are trying to make sure that the 67 makes way. Young Joshi is hoping that the 67 blocks Wise 9 from going through, because this will close the gap between the two, and this will make Young Joshi gun for a fight for the win. Obviously, that will not happen, and while the 67 just decides to make way, but the 54 of Young Joshi is way too close for the comfort of Wise 9, and obviously Wise 9 will take the gap, will take the advantage. Something he doesn't want is drama. All front row racing wants is a 1-2 and a 1-2 for this weekend, and honestly, you can understand why front row racing wants this. And obviously, Mick Hunt wants to make a move on Naylor Dub. Naylor Dub is fighting her own battle, fighting for the 24th position, and Mick Hunt, doesn't want to be involved in any of that. And this will, of course, give McQueen the advantage. It's a very bad weekend for the Wood Brothers Racing, but it's nothing expected since they really don't have the equipment that they had. And Mick Hunt makes his way through, and obviously he's going to catch up to the Team Penske cars, who have been very, very slow this weekend, hoping to make way through, and Mick Hunt will get the job done for James Crow. Will he do the same to Melissa? And obviously he goes through, and now he's going to catch up to the 29 of never mind, because the 22 is refusing to budge. Maybe Mick Hunt will be accepting of the fact that he can't maneuver through the 21. Obviously, we have Shirogane, barely out of the top 10, and we have the Joe Gibbs of Flevo Berry, who has also not had a good weekend, but obviously this won't count for points, but he will be missing out on that huge money. And of course, there is Sophie Walton behind Thomas Dopre, and Dopre has dropped off. He is out of the top 10. There's of course Wurtjenut in 9th with Racer. There's the 9 of Sky Commons fighting with Marcus B and John Johnson, and obviously there is Stone, a pole starter, but it seems that Young Joshi took advantage of the fact that his skills were present, and obviously they're fighting with, oh no, Stone trying to bump John Johnson trying to attempt a bump and run. Obviously, Stone hasn't had enough. And oh no, Seguini's a bit. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. The 67 decides to create havoc in the racetrack, which is not what was favored. Obviously, Mick Hunt is still in the lead, taking a crazy gap, a very dominant weekend from Mick Hunt. Not something that the people at front row, um, very dominant weekend, something that the people at front row motorsports want, something that they need, even though it's not going to contribute to the points. But the front row racing cars are looking very strong, and young Joshi is trying his hardest to keep up with those two front row racing cars. Obviously, Mick Hunt is in the top 10, leading the race. Second is, of course, Wisenai, his teammate. Third is the Toyota, the 54 of young Joshi. Fourth is Ali Rain, a very decent weekend from her. Fifth is Marcus B. Sixth is John Johnson, and they have been fighting. They have been fighting for the fifth position, and fortunately, due to Seguini's actions, Marcus B will take the fifth position. Seventh is Stone, who fell all the way from first. Eighth is Sky Commons. Ninth is Yanuts. And 10th is Racer. All front row racing cars are in the top 10. This will be very good for the people in front row motorsports. It is a caution lap, as you can see. Very stupid action from Seguini. I wonder how he's not even retired. It will be one more lap until a green flag lap, which is, unfortunate. Seguini tried to, do nonsense. And look where it led them to. Look where it led the race to. It's now a yellow flag. Now the lap cars, they're going to, try to unlap themselves. They're going to make way for the cars that are, a lap ahead. Obviously, the pace car goes away. Is it going to be green flag racing as we head to the start finish line? Look at how many cars are lapped. Honestly, bad weekend from those teams. The 29 has had an underwhelming race compared to his teammates. Obviously, Mick Hunt is going to go ahead with young Joshua right behind, but they have to worry about the lap cars. And will the lap cars give trouble to Mick Hunt? Obviously, there's Wise 9, and the 29 of Caleb Wheeler is giving issues. And obviously, young Joshi's behind, fighting with Ali Rain for the position. But luckily, the lap traffic will give chaos. And oh my days, Wise Knight takes the lead. But Caleb Wheeler is giving Wise Knight trouble for the lead. And now Mick Hunt has dropped to second place, with young Joshi taking the position, fighting for the position, proving that why he is the best in these type of racetracks. Hopefully young Joshi doesn't attempt a bump and run on Wise 9. Obviously, Wise 9 is trying to is trying to defend. Mick Hunt will just take back the first position from his teammates. Hopefully there will be no So the B, oh, and the pace car comes out. The pace car comes out. The pace car has come out. The pace car has come out. What happened to warrant such an incident? We do not know. Obviously, the unlapped cars, the lap cars, they're way behind. They're way behind, and the top 10 will look like this. Mick Hunt is in the lead. Wise Knight is second. Third is Young Joshi. Fourth is Ali Rain. Fifth is Marcus B. Behind them is John Johnson. Seventh is Sky Commons. Eighth is her teammate Carson Green. Ninth is Stone. And 10th is Hurt Your Nuts. The only good performance from 23XI so far. Very underwhelming weekend for the team. At least they're not Team Penske, who have both of their drivers in the back of the field, busy getting lapped, which is very unfortunate for the drivers of Team Penske. Very unfortunate for the team. Obviously, they will try to fix this before the Daytona 500. Obviously, you know. Which is very unfortunate, Obviously, we're on lap 59 of 100. Yeah, stupid action from the Penske cars. Not the Penske cars. Stupid action from, the stupid action, whoever caused that yellow flag. But we will get ahead. We're 3/4 away from the lap being finished. With the pace car, hopefully, going into the pits, keeping things in order. It's still a caution lap. Still a caution. Obviously, the lap cars are unlapping themselves. Obviously, sitting next to the guys in the front row. And Young Joshi will head to the pits. Young Joshi will head to the pits. What is going on? It will be green. It will be green. It will be green. Green. It will be green. And it is green flag racing, obviously. And yeah, Ali Rain will inherit third. There is Mick Hunt in the lead, and he's going to be given a hard time by the number 13. Obviously, the number 13 giving the 28 a very hard time. Obviously, Young Joshi had to go to the pits, and he will come out. But obviously a hard time is given. And oh no. Yeah, that will be a caution flag right there. Caution lap. and the 88 will take back the lead. And wow, what has happened? Obviously, everyone too close for comfort. And Stone will inherit the lead from Mick Hunt, you know. It was thought to be an underwhelming race, but Mick Hunt, you know, obviously had issues with the lap car, and Stone took advantage of that fact. You know, at least Stone will take home that money, you know, and that win for Team Hendrick, you know, which is very fortunate of him to do. Oh, and it's about to be green. Obviously, you know, the pace car slowing things down, you know, trying to keep things in control. You know, the top 10 looks like this. Stone takes the first position. Mick Hunt is in second. Third is Mick Hunt's teammate, Wise 9. Fourth is Ali Rain. Fifth is Marcus B. Sixth, John Johnson. Seventh is Sky Commons. Eighth is her teammates again, Carson Green. Ninth is Thomas Dopre. And 10th is Flebo Berry, doing well compared to his teammates. Um, you know, very stupid action, you know, by Joe Gibbs Racing, you know, and hopefully Flebo Berry, you know, will rectify the results, rectify the mistakes that um Joe Gibbs have done. Will it be green flag racing? We see the green flag being raised. Obviously, you know, will we see the pace car go in the pits when we reach the restart line? Obviously not. You know, the pace. It's been a cautions for like long. We've been in caution. We've been in caution. We're hoping that the caution would end. You know, where even is the pace car? Will it just be caution due and due? If it is caution, if it will be caution through the whole race, then congratulations to Stone for winning the race. Um, young Joshi fumbled it. Mick Hunt and Front Row Racing fumbled it. Whoever had a chance to win, they fumbled it, and it will be unfortunate for the teams. Oh, and the pace car has crashed. Wow. Wow. Obviously, it's supposed to be a green flag, but the pace car has crashed. Um, no wonder why the race couldn't start. The pace car has crashed. The pace car has crashed, and the lap cannot start because whoever drove the pace car is probably high on drugs or is probably Tiger Woods. This is unbelievable. So meaning that um Stone is going to get the money and the cash because our pace car driver turned out to be Tiger Woods. I thought Tiger Woods was supposed to be golfing or something, but I think Tiger Woods decided to drive a pace car. Uh, I, we at the OS car, obviously, you know, we support celebrity endorsement, but I think whoever let Tiger Woods drive our car went too far with our celebrity endorsement. Um, so now, and since that organizer decided to let Tiger Woods drive our car, obviously we're not going to we're not going to have a green flag because of that stupid organizer. So it will be a caution. I'm sorry the lap or the race was ruined. Um, but yeah, you're going to see this. Or we can just stop the race right now because whoever did let Tiger Woods drive our car, um, you know, whoever did let him drive the pace car, hopefully we'll get fired because look at this nonsense. Let me show you where the pace car is. Who let Tiger Woods drive a pace car? Why? Because it could have been ending safely in the pits. Did someone hold our designated pace car driver hostage? Um, Obviously, there will be no green flag. There will be no green flag whatsoever. So, um, the race is over. Good night, y'all. Because it seems like our pace car driver was either actually Tiger Woods, LaMelo Ball, Nikita Mazepin, or was just under the influence. So, this is always car racing. Our top 10 is Stone. Second is Mick Hunt. Third is, of course, Wisner. Fourth is Ali Rain. Fifth is Marcus B. Sixth is John Johnson. Eighth, seventh is Sky Commons. Oh my days. Carson Green has had a tire issue. So meaning that Racer will inherit the top 10 position. Wow. Yeah, Stone has won the race. Very Mickey Mouse win from Stone. Maybe Hendrick Motorsports, paid someone to drive the pace car. We don't know what's happened. This is very, very, very rigged. Hopefully, racing like this will never happen again. We will take care of things. But as it stands, we're 24 laps away from the white flag. But we're just going to have to cancel the race. This is Stone is your official Dodge Clash winner. He will take the money. This will not contribute to his points. Congratulations to Stone. Now this is all